also, what helped me transition out of Vegas was I had a nice long stay at the Amex Lounge where I was able to watch USA and Serbia, which is
Speaking
item
of
one.
Transitions, incredible work by this professional broadcaster.
Which is item one of our opening segment, 5 Out, where we tackle 5 stories from around the NBA world. And there were many an NBA player on the court in Abu Dhabi yesterday, Thursday, tipping off at noon Eastern. Of all of them, Steph Curry had a game high 24 points in 21 minutes, 18 in the first half. It was so funny. Every time they cut back from commercial, the broadcast just kept showing Steph Curry highlights because he was just in the full Steph flamethrower mode. And USA now up 3-0, or they're 3-0 in their tune-up games. 2 more coming in London. They play South Sudan, Royal Ivy's South Sudan team, who, like Serbia, will also be in Group C with Team USA when the Olympics begin. And then they'll play Germany, who, of course, beat Team USA in the semifinals when I was there at the FIBA World Cup en route to gold. And that will be that. But I think just 2 things off of Steph going off that I noticed from the airport lounge on my beautiful super wide company laptop screen. Number one, they're both screen things that stood out to me. By screen, I mean pics, not my super big screen. LeBron and Steph running pick and roll with LeBron as the roll man is like Steph and Draymond on, shooting up someone with compound V. That's a Amazon Prime The Boys reference. There was only one play in the second quarter that really stands out where it was on the right wing and LeBron rolls and he just slammed a bounce pass into Embiid and he found Drew on one. Like, if that's going to end up being the pet action in crunch time or whatever for Team USA, I don't know how anyone's going to be able to stop that combination. Is basically all I'm trying to say.
No, it's totally the whole premise of when Steph and Draymond work together is like, Draymond's really good at reading the floor and making plays out of the middle of the floor. Well, you know who's pretty good at that too? It turns out it's LeBron James. The idea that you get these 2 guys, and the wildest thing so far in the early running of these tune-up games is the starting lineup that features LeBron James and Stephen Curry with Joel Embiid and insert 2 teammates here is the weaker group on Team USA's lineups because this was a close game. You noted it in the Slack when we were talking yesterday. Tie game after the first quarter, Serbia up, I think 4 minutes or so into the second quarter.
They took about like a 6-point lead. Yeah.
Yeah. And Steph rips off like 9 points in less than a minute. Kicks off that 4-point play where he hits the 3 and then gets fouled on the way down. But then once that happened, that second unit comes in and it's Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Edwards, and yesterday Derek White got into the mix, and Devin Booker, who was in the starting lineup for the first couple of games, now back on the bench. Like,
Bam,
there's
3
just
threes.
And Bam Adebayo shooting the 3. Anthony Davis clamping down Nikola Jokic. It doesn't happen all that often in NBA play, but happened quite a bit in the second quarter there. I think the total run between the end of the second quarter and the first few minutes of the third quarter was 31-5 USA. And when you can go to the bench and it's that line change comes in, all that size, all that length, all that athleticism and physicality, that's the way that Team USA seems like they're going to be able to turn on the jets and run away from teams. 5 minutes of just lockdown defense that they can run off of, and being able, it's funny that mix of maybe Joel Embiid has not played as well as Anthony Davis or Bam Adebayo, but being able to throw AD and Bam at teams seems like it's a way to completely defang any offense USA is going to face.
For sure. Just a quick note on Embiid. That was the other thing I was going to mention. He had one terrible flop trying to draw a foul on Jokic.
Yeah, that was ugly.
And he has not looked in peak conditioning, but I noticed it a bit in the Knicks series. He's become such a willing and effective screener so far out from the basket for Tyrese Maxey after I think there was some tension, let's say, in just figuring out how to iron out the pick and roll partnership with James Harden. So to see him setting these screens at like 40 feet from the basket for Steph is just like, how the hell do you get around that man that far away from the basket? That's going to be a hell of a challenge for other teams. But to item 2, to keep it moving here on 5 Out, Kyrie.